Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. We have a topic to discuss, and that is Florian Balogun. Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur are trying to sign Florian Balogun, and they're the two clubs that can actually pay the £50 million that Arsenal want. We have to make a decision, and we have to make it quick because the transfer window is actually running down. Where do we sell Florian Balogun? Do we sell him to Chelsea? Do we sell him to Tottenham Hotspur? Lucky for me, I have a community that we can discuss with, and in the comment box below, I want your thoughts, I want your opinions on this one. £50 million, Chelsea can pay that. £50 million, Tottenham Hotspur can pay that, given the fact that they have a lot of money for the sale of Harry Kane. And of course, Florian Balogun at 21, 22 is one of those players that we'll be looking at as a long-term replacement of Harry Kane. So where do we sell Florian Balogun? It is time to bite the bullet for the second time, because initially Arsenal really didn't want to sell Florian Balogun, according to my information. But the player said, I want to go, I want a permanent move away from the club. And therefore, Arsenal had to bite the bullet by deciding that they will be selling him this summer. That is the decision that I understand as the Arsenal have taken. And that is the decision that the player has taken as well. By the way, hit the like button because that helps me with the YouTube algorithm. So let's start off with Chelsea, right? Let's start off with Chelsea. Chelsea last campaign were not title contenders, and therefore they were not a problem for Arsenal Football Club. But I dare you to think that Chelsea will not come back for the title this season. I dare you to think that Chelsea will not come back for the UEFA Champions League position this campaign. You will be absolutely wrong. Chelsea have just done incredible business. Romeo Lavia, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez in January, Nicolas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku coming in this summer as well. If you add Florian Balogun to that mix, are you really trying to strengthen the club that is going to be your own demise? Because for me, at some point in time, in the next 3 years, there will be some time where Arsenal finish below Chelsea. Whether that is second and Chelsea are champions, whether that is third and Chelsea are second, it will happen. Chelsea and the squad they're building with Mauricio Pochettino, they are our direct rivals. They are a big threat to Arsenal, and I don't think we should be sharing players, right? I don't think Arsenal should be sharing players with Chelsea. I just don't understand how our relationship, which is actually full of hypocrisy and absolute, madness, works. Because when we want Kai Havertz, they just sell him to us. When we want Jorginho, they just give us the player. When they want Ashley Cole, we just give them the player. I don't know how the relationship, I don't know how the rivalry between Chelsea and Arsenal really works. But I don't think Arsenal would wisely sell Balogun to Chelsea, and we should not sell Balogun to Chelsea. 3 good reasons. Number one, I've talked about it. They are our arch rivals. Now, you think about Manchester City, but we are not at the same level at Manchester City. We're trying to get there, and probably this year we might be there. Probably next year, Arsenal could be at the same level as Manchester City. But Chelsea are almost at the same level at Arsenal. They're probably 1 year or half a year when it comes to the development process and how Arsenal have actually handled the squad, the way we've built our squad, the quality, the experience, and the togetherness and the cohesion. There may be 1 year out or half a year out, right? They have a new manager, and so many of the players in that squad are new. But do not undermine the quality of Chelsea. Quality can beat experience, quality can beat cohesion, quality can beat so many things. Just imagine Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez creating chances for Christopher Nkunku, Nicolas Jackson, Noni Madueke, and Florian Balogun. We cannot afford that. So that is reason number one. Chelsea are our arch rivals, and they are a quality side. Okay, so I don't think Arsenal should strengthen Chelsea and better. Just like when we wanted to sign Romelu Lukaku on loan when he had brought in Mesut Ozil. You remember, Mourinho was the manager at Chelsea, and he said a statement that was very, very clever and very cunning. He said, I cannot give Romelu Lukaku to Arsenal after they have signed a goal-making machine in Mesut Ozil. Apparently, he was right, because Mesut Ozil is the only player in the Premier League that has actually holds the record for the most number of assists in a single campaign. So, Chelsea, reason number one, they are our arch rivals. We cannot strengthen them. Reason number two, why we cannot give Chelsea, Florian Balogun. Chelsea will not give us the option of a sell-on clause. They can give us 50 million. They can give us 55 million. We know they have the money, but they cannot allow Arsenal to buy him back if we wanted to, right? I don't think Chelsea are that stupid. I don't think Chelsea are that naive, right? They will give him an 8-year contract, 9-year long contract, and they'll tell Arsenal, well, when we want to sell him after 9 years, we will give you a call. Like, it's madness, right? I would prefer Florian Balogun to go right to a club like Lens, Inter Milan, AC Milan, a club where Arsenal can easily go, well, we want him back. Just like Madrid did with Brahim Diaz. We want him back, right? And Milan could have gone strong and tried to sign Brahim Diaz on a permanent. But because Milan are Milan, they decided Brahim Diaz goes back to Real Madrid and everything is fine. No bad blood between the two clubs. So I would prefer a sell-on clause, and Chelsea are not going to give us that sell-on clause. That is reason number two. And therefore, that move to Chelsea is definitely off. Reason number three, why Arsenal should not sell Florian Balogun to Chelsea is we cannot sell him to any club in the top 10. And that actually goes to Tottenham as well. But the reasons for Tottenham are different. I think we have 10 quality sides now in the Premier League. I could mention them. Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea, Brentford, Brighton, Aston Villa. Those are 9. Like 9 without resting. So we have a total of 10 quality Premier League sides this season that you don't want to play. You don't even want to have a fixture with them. Can you imagine that out of the 38 games we're gonna play, almost 20 of those games are going to be high pressure, high quality games. So I don't think Arsenal should think about giving Florian Balogun to Brighton, Brentford, and all the clubs that finished above, 10 and above last campaign. Chelsea finishing 12th last campaign, it doesn't exclude them. So for me, Balogun to Chelsea, I disagree. It's a move that we should not consider. It's a move that we cannot even think about. Like, we can't. Now, my dear Tottenham Hotspur. Well, Tottenham are also a threat for Balogun. Why? Because they have the money. They have just received 100 million euros for the sale of Harry Kane. They have brought in a new centre-back who I think is going to be very, very good. They've also brought in a new number 10 in James Maddison, who I think is also going to be phenomenal for them this campaign. That is the point that you cannot give Tottenham Hotspur Florian Balogun. That is point number one. After signing James Maddison, after signing Dejan Kulusevski on a permanent, we cannot give them a striker to create a problem for ourselves. I don't think Tottenham are a problem right now. I think Tottenham will lose a couple of games. Like, they will finish 6th, 7th, and they will be oscillating between 5th and 6th a lot of the time. I think their quality side, but their quality is to compete with Villa, Brentford, and Brighton. If you give them Florian Balogun, you've given them half of the goals Harry Kane scored last campaign. Balogun at Spurs will score 15 goals next campaign. And tell you what, if he scores 15, he has propelled them. He would have, driven them right from these, lower positions up to the top 6, up to the top 7. So for me, Tottenham Hotspur cannot get Florian Balogun, especially this summer. Next summer, if Arsenal win the Premier League this season, next summer we could give you anyone. But this summer we want to have as few enemies as possible. We have to have as weaker enemies and opponents as possible. So we cannot give them Florian Balogun after them signing James Maddison. Like, we cannot give them the icing on the cake. They need to find the ingredients for the cake, and they also need to find the icing on the cake themselves. I'm sorry. Number two, it's a bitter rivalry. Right? It's a bitter rivalry. The last time these teams really shared a quality player was Sol Campbell under Arsene Wenger. Is it 2000? Right? Was it in 2000? Like, that is a path that is less trodden. That is a path that you don't just travel that path. And I don't think Florian Balogun needs to travel that path. Like I've told you, I rate him as one of the next big things. And everybody's talking about Evan Ferguson. Florian Balogun is a much better striker than Evan Ferguson. I love Evan Ferguson. I think his game is all round. I think he's got that, board. He can act as a board, and it's a very, very good way out for clubs like Brighton at times when they want to go long, when they want to do things differently. And I think he's also a very good player because he just involves himself in play. But Florian Balogun is Harry Kane. You had me right. Florian Balogun is in the same tier as Harry Kane. Not up there, like he's not up there already. But what I mean is he's going to be a ruthless finisher. He doesn't care how many touches he's got on the ball. He doesn't care how many touches Kylian Mbappe will have. Florian Balogun is a ruthless finisher, a selfish man, a selfish striker, and you need that killer instinct, and he's got it. So Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal cannot share a player. I'm sorry, like it can't happen, right? But also financially, this is the deal that Arsenal need. 50 million, those are the two clubs, according to whoever is coming in to negotiate with Arsenal, those are the two clubs that I'm really convinced can give us 50 million pounds straight. So we have to bite the bullet and we have to decide, do we give him to Chelsea or do we give him to Tottenham Hotspur? Tottenham, I hate them. Chelsea, I envy them, because Chelsea have just done what Arsenal have done in 4 years, 5 years. Chelsea have just done it in a couple of months. Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. It took us time to build that midfield of Rice, Havertz, Partey, and Odegaard. It took us 5 years. They've done it in 8 months. So I envy them, and I'm jealous of them, and I'm also jealous of them that they have 2 UEFA Champions League titles, and we do not have any. So I'm jealous of them. I envy them. But if Arsenal wanted to bite the bullet, if it's time for us to bite the bullet and decide one buyer, I'll go Chelsea. Because at Chelsea there is a lot of competition. So there is a world where he doesn't become the star man. There is a world where Chelsea can decide to move him on before he becomes the striker he's gonna become. At Tottenham Hotspur, if they sign Balogun tomorrow, if they signed him today, they would register him today, and he would play against Man United today, and he would score. Like, that is what is going on. So for me, among the two clubs, guys, Chelsea. But this one is for you in the comment box below. Let me know. My comments are going to be popping up on the phone, and I'm definitely going to be waiting for your reactions. Balogun to Chelsea, Balogun to Tottenham. Where do we fall? Let us know in the comment box below. I'll speak to you right in the next one.